Hello, both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in, so let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation, so we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name-calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. We're going to have another hidden gem segment. We have some amazing hidden gems that's going to be coming on tonight, and I'm excited because we get to celebrate and uplift some of our young folks. As I've been telling you all over the next couple of weeks here, the class of 2022 is going to be representing hard here at both sides of the conversation. Tonight, we got two of our middle school graduates. And as we start moving through the weeks, we're going to be bringing on our high school students as well as some of our college graduates. So we are excited to be talking about these young folks who are doing phenomenal things, plus some of our other hidden gems. I know one's trying to reconnect, but looking forward to getting him on as well. Before I get started, just want to say woo, it was a sizzler today. I don't know if y'all felt it across this Bay Area. It was 94 degrees in San Francisco. I think farther out in the East Bay, it was up to 106, 107 in certain places. Antioch, Fairfield, Vallejo, it was cooking today. It is a scorcher. So again, the rest of this week looks like in the East Bay, we're going to be having some phenomenal weather. Please check on your elders. Please check on your loved ones. Make sure that folks are getting out, Make sure they're getting hydrated. Our young folk that are playing sports and different things of that nature, make sure that they are staying hydrated as this weather is increasing here in the Bay Area. I know it'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow in San Francisco, but for all of our family and folks out in the East Bay, be careful out there. We are going to be having some 100-degree digit temperatures over the next couple of days and into the weekend. So please be safe out there. Heat strokes are real. People get them all the time. So make sure that you are staying hydrated. Also, with that being said, while we're having these temperatures, please be mindful of the electrical usage and things of that nature. Because again, when the temperatures get this hot, the electrical grid gets impacted, and we don't want some of our elders and some of the folks in the community who depend on their air conditioning and their different medicines that they still have the refrigeration services in need, as there has been some minor blackouts across the Bay Area. So again, we just want to be mindful. I know it's hot. Everybody's running their AC, and we just want to make sure that our elders still get the services that they need. So phenomenal stuff that's going on with this weather. Usually it's not this hot this early in the Bay Area, but it's been great. So we'll take it anytime there's sun. But again, to the community here in California, you all know we are in drought territories due to the poor amount of rain and snowfall this winter. So water shortage is real. I know it's hot. I know the kids want to get out and play, but definitely be mindful of your water usage in all of our communities. We are trying to conserve as much water so we don't have rolling water outages like we having for the power. So with that being said, I want to give a huge shout out to the Warriors. Yesterday was the parade. People were all over Market Street, all over the city, celebrating the Warriors. The weather was nice. It was nice to see all of the fans from across the Bay Area come together and celebrate and uplift the Warriors for their victory. Nice event. Glad to see everybody out. Didn't hear too many incidents. So, again, a great event. Thank you to the Warriors for their phenomenal season, bringing the championship back to the Bay. And everybody got to celebrate. And I'm sure people will still be celebrating through this weekend because today everybody was tired. So I know everybody was out enjoying themselves for those events. Also, I want to talk about the huge events that took place for June 10th. We had the Juneteenth and the Fillmore. We had Juneteenth yesterday in the Bayview, or the day before in the Bayview for Father's Day. Beautiful, beautiful events, man. I just want to say, first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to our city. The mayor, President Shamon Watson, Director Davis, all the amazing folks who are just continuing to get behind, this Black enterprise, this Black movement, this liberation, this celebration. It was just nice to see our city have peaceful Juneteenth events, to see the amount of folks come out. It was just beautiful, especially in the Fillmore, just to see all the amazing folks, the different communities come together to celebrate. And there was just so many things for kids, families to do. It was just nice to see the choirs out there, the young folks music, the old folks music. It was just beautiful to see. It was a little windy in the Fillmore on Saturday, but overall, it was a great event. I was able to get some great footage of everything, and we'll be putting some of that stuff out. Great job. So just want to say thank you to all the folks in the Fillmore that helped organize the Fillmore Collaborative, Pia, LaRon, Rico, Uncle Stank, Brittany, all of them folks, man, came together and put an amazing event together for Fillmore. So just want to give a shout out to all the folks in the Fillmore. Beautiful event. The diversity was there. Different folks came out to celebrate. It was definitely a top shelf event. And then then Sunday for Father's Day, the Juneteenth in the Bayview was just phenomenal. The weather held up. It was really, really nice. It was good to see everybody out. A lot of the folks who went to the Fillmore came over to the Bayview event, and it was just beautiful. The SF Black Wall Street did an amazing job putting together the host, the guests. Shablis did a phenomenal job on the microphone, the 1s and 2 all day. So shout out to Shablis, shout out to the SF Black Wall Street, all the community partners that came together. Chief Scott was out there, the mayor. Everybody was out there representing. They had the ponies, the rides, the vendors. It was an amazing event. It was very epic, and just happy to be a part of it, happy to be out there. The young folk came out, played basketball, had a great event, and then the dads. Just want to give a shout out to the dads, because sometimes in our community, Black fathers don't get that acknowledgement. I just want to make sure our fathers out there in the community get that love and get that praise. It was amazing to see the amount of Black dads out there with their kids, enjoying the day, celebrating Father's Day with their young folks, and just celebrating the liberation of Juneteenth. Very powerful stuff. It was very emotional at some point, seeing some of the folks who I grew up with, I haven't seen in a long time, to see them, their kids. Very powerful stuff. So again, this narrative that Black men are not a part of their kids' life, or Black fathers are not important to the community. I saw a lot of powerful fathers out there, a lot of just beautiful family bonding. Both parties. Some of these families were blended, some of them weren't together, but they were still out there in support. And it was just great to see our dads out with the kids in the community. So again, shout out to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. If you didn't get acknowledged, are you going through drama, are you going through something, we just want to still acknowledge you and give you praise and say thank you for being a king. Thank you for being a father, stepping up and continue to fight for what's yours. As our young folks in the community definitely need that male leadership as well. So I want to say thank you to everybody that was a part of that event. It was great. And we're just looking forward to more and more events like that to continue to bring our communities together in solidarity and help uplift and change that narrative that we cannot function or get together without problems. Again, both Juneteenth in the city of San Francisco was very powerful. No drama. Everybody came out and just celebrated, had a good time. So thank you to everybody that came out. Thank you to all our community folks, our elders who came out. We appreciate all you. It was great. And again, thank you, SF Black Wall Street, for putting it on. Before I end on the Juneteenth, I want to give a shout out to Oakland, Richmond, Vallejo, Antioch. They had some amazing Juneteenth celebrations as well. A number of folks were sharing some of the footage with me. We didn't get to all of those because we were tied up in the city. But again, phenomenal events across the Bay Area. And just want to say thank you to all of the organizations who are still celebrating, uplifting, and bringing our communities together to celebrate our liberation, and also just bringing Black folks together to help continue to uplift our community. Very powerful stuff. So thank you to all those cities, all those counties, and everybody that participated and got out and enjoyed their days at these events. With that being said, I want to jump into some of the community announcements, and then we're going to get to our hidden gems tonight as they are waiting patiently. But just want to go over some of the topics that's been taking place in the news in New York. New York has enacted to protect the voting rights named after Representative John Lewis. The law prevents local counties from enacting rules that suppress the Black vote. That's very powerful, something that happened that's needed. And I think there's more that needs to be done. But again, this is definitely a great start. As you all know, across this country, there's been so many things going on with voters, voter suppression, people doing things, putting things in place to, push people from coming to vote. So again, thank you to New York for putting that in place. And we'll see how things go as we get closer to the election season coming up in November. Also in St. Louis, the monument honors the Black Americans who sued for their freedom. The great granddaughter of Dred Scott was intended. The monument was enacted in honor of Black people who sued for their freedom during slavery. The 14-foot bronze statue was created by the sculptor Preston Jackson and includes the names of enslaved folks. Man, this is pretty cool stuff. Nice to see that up there, man. Definitely, I want to get some pictures of that. But shout out to those folks who were fighting back then and get freedom, and we're still fighting today. But nice to see that monument up and acknowledging the folks who were enslaved during that time period. Also, lawmakers make Juneteenth call for change in the 13th Amendment. One of the things that not only celebrate Juneteenth, there's a number of representatives and folks who want to end the legally enslaved inmates who are disproportionately Black on Juneteenth. So they are fighting for folks who've been over sentence and things of that nature. So hopefully some of the amendments of the 13th Amendment will be changed. So we're looking forward to seeing that as they continue to carve out what's right and making change and what's going on in this country. Also, Colombia, they elect the first Black vice president. It's about time. It's been a long, long time. But nice to see that in South America, we'll have the first Black vice president. I guess it's Gustavo Petro won the country presidential runoff election on Sunday. So that's very powerful. Again, Black folks are moving forward across the nation, across this world, and we are not going away. without our voices being heard and our movement being impacted by others. So shout out to the first Black vice president of South America. Also, there was some teens who were killed and some were injured at a Juneteenth musical festival. The police were saying that the event was unpermitted. A 15-year-old were killed and 3 others were injured at this festival in D.C. Sad to hear that took place. There has been gun violence and violence going on across the country here in the Bay Area as well. And again, we're going to continue to promote peace, guns down, gloves up, things of that nature, because we, again, don't want to see our young folks and our communities impacted with violence. Also, the Supreme Court is saying that Maine cannot exclude religious schools from tuition assistance programs. So the Supreme Court said on Tuesday that Maine cannot exclude religious schools from a tuition assistance program that allows parents to use vouchers to send their kids to public or private schools. So again, more work being done to break up some of this divisiveness and some of this disparities that take place with these programs. But good to see that they're on it and it's looking like it's going to happen. So shout out to Maine and the Supreme Court for making sure that stuff stay intact for families. State officials testify about death threats, being harassed via calls, texts, and having their personal info shared publicly as Trump targeted them with the election. As you all know, the January 6th committee has been going on. A lot of information coming on from the background stuff that community didn't get to see are being brought out. Very terrible stuff to understand what's been going on. But those committee and those proceedings are still going on. More and more information are coming out daily, and we will keep community updated as they continue to come through. With that being said, I want to jump into some of the community events that is going on. Mo Magic Collective Impact is kicking off the summer kickoff with the Read, Explore, and Learn at the Civic Center Plaza tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. If you have young folks, this is an opportunity. If you have an organization and you want to bring these young folks out here, there's going to be a rides, there's going to be books, there's going to be educational stuff, there's going to be food, there's going to be a number of things going on. You probably want to check this out. Get down to the City Hall in San Francisco at the Civic Plaza Center, right across the street from the steps of San Francisco City Hall. It'll be a great event. All of our young folks, as they kick off the summer programs for these young folks, should be great. Also, the Lake Fest is happening June 25th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Lake Merritt. So if you want to get out there and enjoy some good music, see some vendors, and check out some of the stuff that's going on in the lake, Lake Fest will be happening. It's going to be crowded out there. It's going to be popping, and the weather will be warm. But please come with love, and again, come with peace. Again, we want to continue to have these events take place this summer, and we don't want to let gun violence and violence stop us from having a good time this summer. So please come with peace, no drama, and come out there and celebrate with the folks, as there will be a number of music, food, and different things like that at this event. Also, the SF Rebels are still having their sports and STEM summer camps, various sessions through July 22nd at Gateway High School. Reach out to SF Rebels 1990 at Gmail for more information. Our guy Nate is over there making sure that our young folks are impacted. Also, the Invest Black and Youth Comedy Award show is coming up August 13th. I don't believe there's any more tickets. You could check, but I think they sold out. And we're going to promote this event all the way through, as we are part of the Invest Black. And they're doing some phenomenal things for the community and for our youth. Also, the Live and Free Omega Alumni Friends and Family Barbecue is going to be happening August 6th. It's going to be at the Castro Valley Community Park from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. or 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. At the Castro Valley Community Park. That is at 18988 Lake Chabot Road. As we get closer to those dates, we'll make sure that community gets that information. Also, for the both sides of the conversation announcements, we are still looking for volunteers. If you would like to give back to the community, you see the work that we're doing to impact community, and you would like to volunteer, come out and support some of the events, some of the things that we're doing to impact our community, please reach out to us. Go to our website, or you could go to info@BSOTC, and we'll have someone reach out to you and connect with you that way. Also, if you'd like to financially support us, please go to Amazon Smile. You could donate, where Amazon will donate 0.5% of your purchases, no extra charge to you. But every time you shop on Amazon, if you choose Both Sides of the Conversation as one of your charitable organizations, they will give us 0.5% of your sales to help support our organization. With all that said, please go to all of our social media handles. If you would like to connect with us, go to our website, www.bsotc.org, to find out upcoming events, what's going on. Check us out on Facebook at Both Sides of the Conversation. Check out our Facebook page. Also, you could check us out on YouTube, Both Sides of the Conversation on YouTube. See when we're going live for any live shows, anything that we're doing in the community, or you can reach us on our Instagram at Both Sides of the Conversation as well. All social media handles at Both Sides of the Conversation. Also, with that being said, if you're having an event, you're having a birthday party, you're having a wedding, something you want Both Sides of the Conversation to be there, and you want us to bring some of our services to your event, please reach out to us at info@bsotc for pricing, or go to events at bsotc.org. If you like to see, you get prices for our 360 booth. We have a 360 booth that we can bring to your birthday party or your wedding to enhance your party. Also, if you're having a wedding or a birthday or some outdoor event, we could come with our drone and bring out our drone and pick up some of the aerial footages of your event. I know a lot of folks are liking the aerial footage. We did a couple of events. People are loving that drone footage. It is off the hook. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start bringing up tonight's hidden gem. First, we're going to bring up our young folks. Again, we have two young graduates tonight, class of 2022. They're a part of our Dream Keeper narrative shift. When we talk about our young folks, the obstacles that they have to go over, the things they've been through this pandemic, and still coming out on top, walking across the stage and advancing in education. We always celebrate and uplift them. And we want to thank our mayor. We want to thank the board president, Shamon Walton, and Director Davis from the Human Rights Commission for, again, his Dreamkeeper funding. These fundings support these young folks. And tonight, after tonight's show, they're going to get a gift card from the Dreamkeeper Initiative Narrative Shift from our lovely mayor, board president, and director of the Human Rights Commission, Cheryl Davis. So these young folks have walked the walk, talked the talk, and they've been doing their part. So we're going to bring up our first guest tonight. We're going to bring up Mark Phillips III, graduate out of middle school. We're going to have him introduce himself, and we're going to ask Lil Mark some questions. Lil Mark, what's going on, good brother?
I'm doing good. My name is Mark Phillips, and I go to FSA, Father Shower Academy. And I just graduated, and now I'm going to SI, St. Ignatius.
So how did you feel about it? I mean, this is an exciting time for you. You're going to St. Ignatius. I want to ask you a couple of things, because there's always this transition between middle school to high school, right? When I went from middle school to high school, it's like this nervousness, like, everybody's bigger and taller, stronger. Did you have any of that anxiety? Like, okay, I'm graduating now. Am I ready for the next level? Are you ready?
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but getting support from like my family and like my coaches, I was able to like do good and like feel more comfortable to go into the next level. So like I could really just thank my parents and stuff, because they gave me many opportunities that I could take advantage of and do better. So yeah. Like they want to help me get to the next level. I played sports and they helped me do my homework, and yeah, now I feel more confident and ready.
Man, that's what's up. Well, I'm glad that you have the confidence, because I think that's what especially young Black males need, that confidence. And it's just very important, to have, family behind you. We know your mom is a pillar of the community. I know she pushed y'all to the highest levels and make sure that y'all achieve. And that's great. And that's what we need. But even with your mom them push you, even, all the things that you're doing, your dad behind you, your cousins, your different folks. Talk about, this last past year as you was getting ready to graduate. I know we was dealing with the pandemic, and I just want to hear from you, like, what was some of your struggles, your transition? It was like 1 minute y'all was at home on Zoom, then you was like hybrid back to school, then you was back full time. Tell us about that obstacle. How was it hard for you to adjust? I know you play sports too. So how was it to adjust from going from Zoom school back to school? Did you like the Zoom school? Did you find it more convenient, or just tell me your experience about that transition this last year?
So some of the struggles I had when doing like quarantine and stuff is not being able to like communicate to the teacher personally, because when it's hard to learn from a teacher in the distance, and like in person you could learn better. So like doing that, I had to like talk to my teacher more. Like I had to like stay behind or email them and like ask them like more questions about what to do, or like to understand the topic more so I could do my assignments right and complete it on time. So also I was getting like help from my school. They were giving me laptops and mobile hotspots so I don't struggle like internet connection issues, and so I could do my work without like lagging and like do it online. But yeah, I had like a lot of struggles, and especially in sports. The thing that got me through quarantine the most was sports. If I didn't have sports, I don't think I would have been able to get through it. Having my coach train me and like help me with basketball to improve in football and footwork and stuff, to like get stronger and be ready for the next year. But yeah, that's mostly the things I did to get through like these tough years. And yeah.
That's cool. So, when we talk about, we always talk about how academics and sports, sometimes go hand in hand on the development of young people. You graduated pretty high there with a GPA. What was your GPA? Because I know you graduated pretty high up there.
I had a 4.0 GPA.
Oh man, come on! Don't say it again. Hold on. What was your GPA? Hold on. What was it? Come on.
4.0.
4.0. That's what I'm talking about. See, community, this is what I'm talking about. This young brother right here, this is why we celebrate our youth, right? He plays sports. He had to divide his time between sports, education, right? And helping out in the house. And so many times it's this narrative painted that young black males aren't achieving, right? But just to hear you right there say 4.0, I'm like, I had to like readjust my ear a little bit to make sure I heard you right, because sometimes in the community, they just don't think our young brothers, our young sisters are doing it. And I just want to commend you and just give you love, because again, to play sports and hold up your bargain and your end on the academics, to hold a 4.0 to graduate, man. I mean, that's big stuff, man. You're a big shot. I'm impressed. You know what I mean? How do you feel about yourself when you get those grades and you running from school and practice to coming home tired, exhausted, but when you see those rewards of those 4.0, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel happy and very grateful that like I'm in this position and that I'm getting all this help, and like just very thankful for all the people who helped me get there. Like my mom, my sisters, my siblings. And yeah, I just feel very happy that I was able to graduate with all A's.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff, man. Just pumped up, excited for you. I know you have an amazing journey in front of you. You're gonna be playing high school ball too, right? Aren't you gonna be playing high school ball?
Yes.
Ha-
And I'm gonna be playing football too.
So you're gonna be doing two sports. Oh man. So listen, if you could keep up a 4.0, I'm not even gonna hold you to the 4.0 standard. Like, if you could keep up a 3.5 and play football and basketball through high school, now I'm gonna hold you to the 4 point, but I'm gonna give you that grace, because if you play two sports, that's hard. But to stay focused, I think that's very important. Do you feel like, since you've been playing sports, I know the AAU is a little different than the high school sports, but just during your time during middle school, did you feel like your coaches and everything gave you enough study time and enough time to do your work, or you feel like sometimes it's a close balance of time?
Yeah, sometimes I do have a close battle in time, and that's where I really have to like think and like focus on the completing it. But yeah, when I do not have enough time, I tell my coaches about it, and like sometimes I leave early from practice so I can have enough time to finish my homework. But they understand, and yeah, if I just communicate right with them, then yeah, I could get that support and like go back home and finish it.
Man, that's cool, man. Very proud of you. I'm not gonna hold you up with too many questions, but one of the other things that I wanted to ask you, because as young people transition over the year, these last few years, been a lot of things in the educational realm. But from a young male's perspective, I want to ask you, about peer pressure, right? Because I always, hear young folks, get deteriorate, steered off the wrong way, and things happen. We grow up in the city. Sometimes we grow up in sometimes not the best environments. My question to you is, how do you avoid the peer pressure, right? Because I know somebody around you, whether it's a family or a friend, that's not doing the right thing. For you, how did you keep yourself from getting caught up with them, or making the wrong decisions, or not being felt by the peer pressure? Was it, tell me, what was it for you that kept you doing the right thing, making sure your grades is up so that you're not, getting caught up. A lot of young folks your age get caught up. So how did you avoid it? Or was there any peer pressure for you at all?
There was some peer pressure, but I just kept to myself and didn't involve myself. My mom mostly kept me in track, and I always tried to stay busy so I didn't like get into that predicament where I could get involved with some messy stuff. So like really, I was just always keeping myself busy every day, doing stuff, sports, homework, um, talking to friends, going to a mall, and like all this stuff really helped me to like not do these bad things and like stay focused on track and getting ready for my goal in life.
Wow, very powerful stuff, man. Great. You're a leader. They always say that idle mind is a devil workshop, and the more you keep yourself busy, less likely you have, time to get in trouble. And I think that's very powerful to hear from you as a young male in the community going into high school, because I think that's what our young folks really have to do. And we're just happy that your mom and your family keep you on track so that you are busy. And I think that's um, a big part of what the issue is with so many of our young folks getting caught up in the different things negatively, is they don't have structure. They don't have program. You know what I mean? And I think this is why it's so good for you to play sports as well as your academics, because it just kind of keeps you going and you don't really have that lax time. And, just proud that you staying busy and you keeping yourself together. And, we just happy that you stayed the course, even through the obstacles of Zoom school, the pandemic, that you stayed focused and stayed on your path to graduating. Now you're going to high school, and just want to say, man, we proud of you. And, from the DKI folks, from the mayor, we're going to make sure that you get this nice gift, because I think, part of what we do is we have to reward our young folks, man. And that's why we wanted you all to come on and just kind of talk to community. A lot of young folks feel like community don't listen to them, community don't support them, and we want to just make sure that our mayor, Shaman, and Director Davis, they know that we are supporting you young folks. They want to be made sure that they know that you all are supporting them. So next time you run across the mayor, you run across board president Shaman, or if you run across Director Davis, man, make sure you say thank you and we appreciate you, because they are always advocating for our young people, no matter what's going on. They always making sure that our young folks are supported and that you all have the things you need. So tonight they're going to gift you with an amazing gift card, and we'll be getting that to you tonight. But Mark, any last words you want to say to the community? I see your mom, different folks in the chat. You want to shout out any of your folks, any of your friends that's going to school with you or anything? This is the time to do it. Show some love to the community.
All I want to say is stay busy and never get lost from like your goal. Always stay on track.
Wow, very powerful. Thank you, young brother, for coming on tonight. If you can hang around for 1 second before you leave, because I want to make sure that when we bring up the next young sister, I want to bring both y'all up before we leave, okay? So just hang in there
Okay.
behind stage. I'll bring you back up. All right, community. As y'all saw that was our first uh class of 2022 graduate. Mark Phillips going from middle school to high school, graduate with a 4.0. I'm excited. Anytime we see young brothers, especially our young black males, we got to jump up and down with them for a 4.0 when they do it. And that young brother is phenomenal. He's playing sports, doing a number of things. He'll be playing football and basketball for the high school. So we excited. We're going to continue to cheer him on, community. Make sure you get behind our young people and support them and uplift them because, again, their voice is important. The work that they're doing, even through their young trials and tribulations and obstacles, they are still doing what it takes to maintain and graduate. So we excited for young Mark there, and we're going to be behind him here at both sides of the conversation. And, I'm always excited to see him grow because, he's just a phenomenal young person. He was one of our first cohort of our mentor program. So just to see him continue to grow and develop is very, very, important. And we just happy to see him achieving, and we just hope he gets to all his dreams and goals. With that being said, we're going to bring up the next hidden gem, another class of 2022 graduate, Miss Jewel Rayford. We're going to bring her up to the screen so she can introduce herself, talk about some of the things that she went through over school and, her time and through her graduation. So with that being said, Miss Jewel, come up and welcome yourself to community.
Hi, my name is Jewel Rayford, and I am graduating elementary school, and the school that I go to is Mission Dolores Academy, and the school I will be going to next year is Mission Dolores Academy.
So during this past year, Joel, schools, I asked the same question, Mark. School was a challenge on Zoom school. How many obstacles do you feel outside of COVID was an obstacle for you to get through the school year?
So through the school year, it has been kind of tough going like back and forth, like on Zoom and in person, because the COVID cases kept rising. But my mom and my dad and my family was helping me push through it.
Very cool. A lot of the young kids, and I think Mark said a little bit about it too. They felt there was a disconnect with their teachers, not being able to connect with their teachers or ask questions because of the Zoom and chat. Um, did you have any of those issues with technology? I know there was a big problem with Wi-Fi hotspots in certain parts of the city. Were you impacted by getting your class assignments and things of that nature because of poor Wi-Fi or just not having connectivity issues?
Mm, Connectivity, no. My Wi-Fi was pretty good for the most part, but sometimes when I had to do my online homework, like the Wi-Fi would just stop working for a little while, so I wouldn't get to do my homework. So I have to communicate to my teacher, so I would still get like my grade, so I won't get a bad grade and stuff.
Oh wow, that's good. Um, one of the other questions I wanted to ask you, and I should have asked Mark this too. Um, if you had a choice, because I know there's a lot of the numbers of COVID is still going up. Would you say if you had a choice, was it better to be in Zoom school? I know a lot of young folks was like, "Hey, I could get up when I want. I could turn my camera off and do work." Or did you miss the social part of being actually in person, hanging around your friends and things of that nature?
Actually, really, I missed the social part because going on distance learning, it was kind of hard because they were just like they were sending work out, but they would try to tell us that they told us how to do the work, but they would just give the work to us and we wouldn't know how to do it, and they would end class, so I would have to email them so I can figure out how to do it. So in person is really I miss in person really.
Yeah, that's good to hear. We had a couple of shows that we had did, during the pandemic about it, and surprisingly, majority of the kids said that in person was better, just from a learning standpoint, being able to connect with the teachers, seeing problems on the board. But for some of the older kids, some of the high school kids and college kids, they were okay, and after the first 6 months of doing it, they was able to be okay. But that's a good perspective from you also. Again, it's very important for our young folks to be able to be social, involved. Did you have any anxieties, right? Did you feel any kind of anxiety going back to school after being in Zoom? Like, did you feel comfortable? Were you nervous when you first went back? How was that experience for you?
Yeah, I was kind of nervous because this year was my first year having a male teacher.
Okay, and how did that make you feel?
It made me feel kind of nervous. But once I started to get to know my teacher was like a very fun teacher and made learning like really fun for everybody. So like if say if I was struggling and I asked for help, he would like break it down so it'd be way much easier. But he won't break it down like he will break it down in a very easy way.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. One of the things, and you young folks, you guys always amaze me. Here at both sides of the conversation, we always uplift and celebrate our young folks because when I was a kid, I never went through anything like the pandemic, having to learn online. But with technology, and technology is changing. Do you feel like you're being able to maneuver with the media, the technology? Is that something that you felt like your skills increased during the pandemic when you had to do it on Zoom, or did you just have that natural ability? I know a lot of y'all young folks know how to do TikTok and Instagram and all that, but when it came to the Zoom and navigating the electronics, was that a challenge, or did you just kind of go through it?
It was a little bit of a challenge, but I had people to help me push through it to learn more.
Wow, that's very powerful. So, who would you say the most thanks to? Your mom, your dad? Who was there the most? Who was giving you all that
I would
energy?
like I would I would really thank my mom and my dad for pushing me through and for pushing me to work harder and to stay confident.
Wow, that's cool, powerful stuff. And then lastly, do you feel like the resources that you needed to get through are available, or have you been able to connect with all of the resources? One of the things with our young folks that I've been trying to figure out, there's a lot of resources, summer jobs, different camps, things of that nature, a lot of counseling and things of that nature in the school. Did you all have access to those resources? Were there counselors that you guys could talk to when you came back to school, or did you have, like, if you needed mentors or some kind of support like that, was those resources there, or tutors? Did y'all have that there when you first came back, or was it a challenge getting those folks to come and support y'all?
Yeah, like we had them there, but we get new ones every year, so they can only stay 2 or 1 year. So we get one every year.
Cool, cool. Very important stuff. So what are you looking for forward to going to the next level as you move up? You graduate this year. Congratulations. Now you're moving up another step. Do it make you nervous? Are you ready for the challenge? Or give
It
me some
makes me
insight.
it makes me a little nervous, but very excited to move on to a higher grade because a lot of people don't have this opportunity to go to a higher grade and to have stuff that other people don't have. So it makes me very excited to learn harder things and to build up from where I am right now.
But I know you up to the task. You got phenomenal family behind you, so I know you up to the task. And anything we could do to support you, what I'm gonna do right now, before I bring up little Marcus, one, want to say, thank you. Keep pushing on. It is always good to see our young sisters achieving and moving up the educational ladder, and hopefully as you continue to develop and grow, you reach all your potential and all your dreams. But first, just want to say thank you for what you're doing and just continue the legacy of young Black students, achieving. And again, in support of the Dream Keeper Initiative, our mayor, our board president, and the director of the Human Rights Commission, because you all graduated and, just a phenomenal job that you all have done and pushed through the year. You all be getting a gift card from them. So again, if you run across the mayor, you run across Shaman, if you run across Director Davis, make sure you say thank you for supporting you, and we thank you for doing what you do. But I'm gonna bring up Mark real quick, and I want to ask both you questions, a couple questions, because I always like to ask this to young people. The first question is, Lil Mark and Jewel, what are you guys going to be when you grow up, or what is it that you want to do for a career?
Uh, I'll go first.
Okay, go
Uh,
ahead.
what I want to be is either like a entrepreneur, a doctor, or a nurse. Uh, yeah, those are like the three things that I'm looking forward to being.
Man, that's a good selection. An entrepreneur is good. A doctor or a nurse is good. Little Mark, you have to put in some work for that nurse and doctor. But glad to know that you got it figured out where you want to go. That's the main thing I wanted to get from you. And then for you, Jewel, what do you want to be when you grow up? When you go through this educational realm?
When I grow up, I want to be a really good competitive gymnast and someday make it to the Olympics.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, if that doesn't happen, what is your backup plan?
If that doesn't happen, my backup plan is to like help pets that are help pets or people that are in need.
Wow, so you're looking at maybe a veterinarian or something like that?
Yeah.
All right. That's what's up. Well, before I let both of you guys go, just want to say to both of you, congratulations, class of 2020-22. You are doing some amazing things. Continue to stay close to your family. Stay in the books, succeed, and we're gonna watch you guys. We're gonna follow you all, and we'll try to get you all back on maybe here in a year or so to kind of do a follow up and check in with you all. Or as you all start excelling, because it's just good for our community to see the young folks as they develop. And I just want to say that I'm proud of both of you all. Thank you all for just changing the narrative. You know, so many times young Black kids, especially in the city in San Francisco, get labeled, get marked, you know, and just to see both of you all excelling, doing what you're supposed to do, I think is phenomenal. And just happy to see you all grow, and more blessings to y'all. And I hope y'all continue to excel and reach all y'all goals.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. And y'all check y'all emails. They'll be sending y'all a gift card to y'all email address that y'all use to register. And we'll be looking forward to connecting with you all soon.
See you later.
All right, Mark. All right, Joel.
Thank you.
All right. With that being said, shout out to those young folks. Proud of them. The young brother Mark, man, just proud to watch that young brother develop. Again, man, phenomenal young brother, 4.0, graduating, going to play football and basketball. Want to be a nurse. The young sister want to be a gymnastic. Folks are veterinarians. So we'll see where they land in a couple years. We'll try to reach back out to their families and get them back on and catch up with them. With that being said, we got a phenomenal brother here, Rob Woods, that we're going to be bringing up. We're going to talk about some of his adventures, some of the things he's doing, and how he's impacted community. So with that being said, our third hidden gem tonight, brother Rob Woods. Welcome to both sides of the conversation, my brother.
How you doing? How's it going?
Right. All right.
Thank you for having me.
So go ahead and talk a little bit about, the businesses and things that you are doing and how you all are impacting. Give a community a little background of who you are, where you grew up at, and some of the things that you all are putting forward for community.
Okay, first off, my name is Rob Woods, Sacramento native, Bay Area relative, and I'm now located in Los Angeles. And songwriting is my passion. It's been something that has allowed me to open a few more doors along the way. So I was born in Sacramento, and I spent 4.5 years in the Bay Area. Um, Lake Merritt was my stomping grounds. First Friday was my stomping grounds. Me and my team, my band, and yeah, I really, really loved and enjoyed the time that I had there. Recently, probably pre-pandemic, 2019, I made it up here to Los Angeles to do some music work and some songwriting. And like I said, music has just opened doors to other things. And you know, I've just been trying to do my best. Me and my team, we built a small foundation called the Worthy Foundation. It stemmed off of a song that I wrote in 2018 with about worthiness and just helping thy brother and thy sister get to where they're going and showing them love. We thought it was just a song, but the song kept on circulating, and we ended up getting a lot of good feedback from our community, which pushed us to build a foundation where we are located in the heart of Skid Row. We're hand in hand with those going through homelessness and things of that nature, transitioning, um, getting out of homelessness back into society, and we do our best by just giving free haircuts to those out there that need help. And it's been a blessing to be able to do that and still be able to create music on top of that and just get back to my community.
Man, very powerful stuff, Rob. I mean, got a number of questions I want to ask you because I've been down there, on Skid Row, with the city eats, giving back, seeing how bad, here in California, not just on Skid Row, every major city in the
Yeah.
Bay Area, even smaller cities are being impacted by the homelessness, and
Hmm.
it takes a certain amount of empathy and compassion and humility to go and do that work, man. And just want to ask you, how do you continue to do that? Because I know some folks they get burnt out, some folks that just can't deal with it. I mean, I remember when I was down there, it was just like a total uh, eye opening of how much more
Yeah.
a homeless issue or need is down in LA
Yeah.
versus here in the city.
What keeps me going, and it's literally just trying to be available and do what I can. We never do what we can't. We do what you can. And, I learned that just doing that alone can be a big help to somebody, even for myself. So, when I stayed in the Bay Area, I lived in the Tenderloin district. I learned a lot about it. I saw how the city thrived. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Every city has it, like you said. But what we need more of is just a few people that want to do something. Nothing crazy, but if you see something that somebody needs and it's within your means to do it, I feel like if we all work together at doing those small things, you know, big differences can happen over time. So it's such an issue that of course it can't be wiped out and overnight, but over time, the more that we try to care and do our part of what we're good at together, the more change that can be made.
Man, very powerful stuff. I agree 100% with you. There's a lot of solidarity talks across this nation and what that looks like. And I'm always telling folks, to me, solidarity is all communities, no
Yeah.
matter color,
Hmm.
gender, we all come together for all
Yeah.
community issues, right? We can't pick and choose when we step up, and that's one thing that we're always trying to encourage to the community. You know,
Yeah.
when there's an issue in the Black community, we need all other races to come together and support it. When there's an
Hmm.
issue in our Asian community, we need everybody for
Sure.
that, right?
For
But what
sure.
happens is so many times is the Black issues, the brown issues, the Latin issues kind of get pushed to the side,
Yeah.
and it's like we have to come together. I think this solidarity that we all are looking for, and what does it look like? Because people are trying to frame like, what does it look like? Are they trying to
Uh,
name it, right? And I'm
yeah.
like, it's all issues, right?
Yeah.
We can't just get out here and protest and march for one thing and forget about the other things, right?
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
those same amount of folks to show up when it's about mental health, when we talk about
Hmm.
food security, when we talk about housing security.
Yeah.
We need those folks to show up. And too many times in our community, we pick and choose what we want to be a part of. And I know we can't do everything, right? But
Yeah.
if we have more people, like you said, just in the mind of like giving back and helping and uplifting, man, we
Hmm.
could do some major things in our
Yeah.
community, and especially with these organizations, getting these organizations to work together and
Yeah.
help support and fund some of the resources that's needed to help impact our community, man.
Most definitely. Yeah. I agree 100%.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to talk to you about the music,
Yes.
how did you get into the music business or into writing music? That's
Um,
something I wanted to know. What intrigued you to that?
Music for me it's always been a part of my life. My dad sang, my sisters sang, played the piano. But really coming up on times, tough times, and I realized how important music is in our life. You know, when you're not feeling well, you put that song on, it changes your energy, it changes the way you feel, good or bad. So, you know, I've always been into it, but I did have an early stint. I went to prison, man, young, early, got a little bit deterred and got off track. And when I was in there, I had nothing but time to think and create and realize what I was really good at. And I realized that I had the art of storytelling. And, you know, it kept me up. It kept me feeling good. It kept me feeling like there was a reason to, you know, stay creative while I was in that small box. So when I came home, like I said, and I came home and I was, you know, I was actually, I'm from Sacramento, but the system had mandatory made me go to San Francisco at a halfway house. And it was actually the biggest blessing I had because I had never, ever experienced that level of creativity that the Bay Area has, meaning you could literally go outside and to be a drummer, a saxophonist, a piano with no big stage, but just they want to create. And I loved the fact that like without the big stage, people took the time to be like, yo, you that boy good, you know, like they're good. You're gonna make it. It's like I got a lot of that encouragement from there and from home. And really it's like what keeps me going at anything is my people. Like I advocate for this big that I'm a product of love. I've always had it. I've always had people that really, really just went out of the way to let me know, hey man, you're doing a good job. Don't stop. Even when it's not the greatest, just the encouragement, it really, really matters. So when I'm in position to do the same thing, I try my best to do it, man, because I know that's exactly what it takes. Like without that, you know, things go a lot differently. So, you know, I encourage the love. I encourage people that will back somebody when they don't know where they're going. They just see that they want to do something good. And the belief system is, you know, something that really got me here. The friends, the family, the love of the city and the people.
Man, very powerful stuff, man, brother. Thank you for
Thank you.
saying that. One of the things that we're always trying to do here at both sides of the conversation, not only just changing the narrative, right, but
Yeah.
we know through communication, healing's process begins, right? It's
Hmm.
like anytime you go to any kind of therapy, the first thing it says, get it off your chest, right? But also the other powerful thing is black men being vulnerable to talk about their life experience so that
Yeah.
other young brothers and other folks who are watching get inspired. And just to hear your story, going through incarceration, coming back to the community, doing music, giving back. It's something about, I'm big in reentry. I do a lot of reentry work with our young folks in San Francisco at the youth
Beautiful.
juvenile. When I was young, I went through my stages of in the streets and incarceration, and you know it's sometimes not talked about, right? And it's
Yeah.
like we got young folks. I always tell the elders, some of the best thing that we could do is tell the truth and tell the stories that we've been through. Too many kids
Yeah.
that I've mentored and worked through, their parents been through a past life and they don't even talk about it with their kids, right?
Uh-huh.
And then
Yeah.
it's like these kids are thinking like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what I'm going through. And I think
Yeah.
if we have more live experience and more people being real and open and transparent about
Yeah.
some of the struggles and obstacles that they've been through, where they were at and where they at now, I think we
Hmm.
really can impact a generation of young folks. Because
Yeah.
I think every person has a different way that they connect with different individuals, especially our young people. It might be
Yeah.
something that I say the young folks might not get, right? But I bring you in and talk to them, they might grab something. You get what I'm saying? So it's like being able to have those different points to have that kind of connection with the young folks is very important, man. But I want to go
Yes,
back to
sir.
what you said about the music, man. Um,
Yeah.
we just had a conversation with our youth 2 Sundays ago, and what they was talking about music and how it influenced them.
Yeah.
you know, talk a little bit about the music, the culture of the industry right now. We got a lot of this drill music. I'm not saying that's what you involved with, but I'm just saying it's a lot of drill music, this rap music, that's really impacting the culture. And
Yeah.
I really believe if we twisted the message around a little bit and some of these influencers and some of these folks who are doing stuff, we really can make dramatic change in our community. But
Yeah.
how do we get the writers and how do we get the industry to make that narrative shift change, right? To talk about more positivity, uplifting music. How do we get that? Is it more black owners of record labels? How do we get that positive message back out into the mainstream media?
I think that, like I said, I even with music, I do what I can, what I'm capable of. And to answer that question, man, I don't know how to change the industry and control what they're putting out. But I do know that me as an artist, and you as a young artist, you have the power of your message. And your messaging changes when you decide to change it. That helps a lot. I'm not saying that that changes everything, but definitely us changing up our messages that we're putting out there for somebody to take in. And this conversation just came up just a few days ago where somebody asked me like, man, like, what got you off, when you were young, what deterred you? And I told the truth because like I do remember being taught a certain way by my parents and knowing right from wrong, and I go in my room and I close my door and I put those earphones in, I close my eyes and I go to a different place. Now, for me to sit there and say that had nothing to do with me, the way that I wanted to wear my clothes, how I wanted to talk and speak, that'd be a total lie. And I think everybody knows that. What you're putting into your mind is exactly what it looks like. You're putting this into your mind. So, I mean, I think that balance has a lot to do with it because I do believe that all music is needed, you know. And I just see that we have a lot more of a certain type of music and messaging. And I think instead of trying to like eliminate it, we balance it out with as much positive music as we have negative. And I think that that will help, and I think that we also have to look at ourselves in the mirror and, being a young adult or a young man growing up, you also have to take the reins and realize that you have power of your choices. So the music's one thing, but you can't blame it all on them. It has a lot to do with it. But at the end of the day, you have the choice and you have to be able to decipher the difference between what's real and what's not. What's happening on the music video is not what happens in real life. Looks really cool. It's super dope to be, out here doing certain things on camera. But on the other side, there could be something that is not that they don't show. And for me, it was like a bunk with three people in one small cell for years, wearing other people's clothing and a number on my chest, and people on the yard that will really, really make you decide if you want to live that lifestyle. It's open for you. You know what I mean? So there's two sides, just showing a little bit more about the reality of what, I think we got to do a better thing, a part of visually and with the music as well.
Man, very powerful stuff. I was in the social media room, and that's what they was talking about. In some countries, they don't even put voices over the beats, right? It's just they just listen to music, and music and drumming and all that is part of our African culture. And I would love to just see more of that too. Just just
Yeah.
have a beat and not really
Yeah.
have a message. Just use that as inspiration. We use instruments and beats to get us through
Yeah.
workouts. As we trying to promote more of this mental health, maybe we just made
Yeah.
music that put you into that mindset of at peace or
Yeah.
meditation and things of that nature. So very
Yeah.
powerful stuff, man. But yeah, before we let you go, man, if you want to go ahead and talk about any of your websites, social media handles, I know we got the at Rob Woods. Is there any way
Yes.
people connect, or you want to shout out anybody? This is the
Yeah.
time to do it, brother.
Um, if anybody's looking for me, it's very simple at Rob Woods there on social media. To the youth, to the young people out there, if you need any help visually, I have a production company that I built since I've been here in Los Angeles. And it's just my way of also trying to give back an opportunity to kids that never get that really good crisp lens without having to empty out every dollar in their pocket to get it. I've kind of been trying to step out there and do my due diligence with that. So if there's any artists out there that are looking for like a really clean, crisp image and are trying to put like some visuals behind the music, even if you can't even get to me, let's work together. Send me a track. I'd love to be the one to take the reins and at least put the piece, a pretty good visual out there for you. And shout outs always go back to my family, my people that back me, my girlfriend, my support system, and then to people like yourself that give me a platform to be able to sit here and feel good about what I'm doing. Honestly, like I didn't expect to get asked to get an interview this week. It's a big blessing and it gives me more fuel for the flame.
Oh man, that's what we definitely here for. We about our black and brown community. We about uplifting business and we uplifting folks in our community that do positive things to impact. You was nominated by Tony Rochelle. Shout out to
Yeah, I
her.
was gonna say, matter of fact, to get more specific, there's somebody that I do owe a thank you to,
Go
which is
ahead, go ahead.
Rochelle, and she's been working, man. I'm watching her, I'm seeing her over the time, and like even her watching her growth and the way that she's been working the industry. I think you guys got the answer to how to change things. Keep that same energy, keep building with people like that, and you'll be able to impact a lot more.
Man, definitely. Tony Rochelle is phenomenal. She's co-hosting with us. She's modeling. She's doing music. We went and seen
Yeah,
her at a play a couple of weeks ago.
so
Just powerful, talented young sister, and she got a future in front of her. And we just happy to have her part of the Both Sides of the Conversation family. We happy to have you here.
thank you.
Anytime you want to come back, my brother, all you got to do is the same process. If you want to promote your album, whatever
Yeah,
you want to do, if you do something or if you wrote for somebody and you want community to know, let us
thank you,
know. You
man.
can come back on and utilize this platform to uplift any of your events. Our young folks down in the LA area, we got a lot of folks watching down there. Reach
Yeah,
out to this brother Rob. Hey Rob, you know what I was gonna say? Maybe you should create a class for the more industry. So many
yeah,
young folks want to get into rapping and singing and things of that nature. And
yeah,
it's like, we always hear about these bad deals or bad contracts or people not knowing how to navigate the system.
yeah.
Maybe you should, these 360 deals and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah,
Maybe you could create a class or work with some of the folks down there and create some kind of you
that's a
know,
really
program that young folks who want to do it understand the business side, because that's one of the things that I would like to see is, our young folks making the right business decisions, right? They excited sometimes when they first blow and they just signing to get
yeah,
on, right? But
yeah,
maybe if we had a little bit more training opportunities for them to bring education awareness about contracts, how these
yeah,
contracts can hold up your career, how you can get in a bad contract and have your music sitting on the shelf, things of that
hmm
nature.
yeah,
That's stuff you should think about, man. Start that up because I think so many of our
okay,
young folks want to do music now, and we
yeah,
also want to teach them the business side of things as
yeah,
well.
yeah. That's big. And just to double back, not anybody that wants to work. I'm from Sacramento. There's a bridge that's been built from Sacramento to the Bay, from the Bay to LA. It's not broken. You have one. You have somebody here that can help you. And I'm coming back to the Bay Area pretty often. I'm back in Sacramento. I'll actually be up there for the Mental Health Awareness Summit this weekend performing. So, I travel is something that I enjoy doing. And if it's to help a young brother out and to do something creative with you guys, I'm more than happy to get there, make it happen.
Man, that's what's up. And Rob, make sure you email us the flyer or the information for the mental health
Okay.
summit. Definitely, I want to get that information out to the community. This is Black Male Mental Health Month. It is,
Yeah.
our Father's Day month, but we also celebrate, our Black males' mental health. As we know, mental health in the Black community has really impacted us, especially for the males. So many men suffer with mental health in silence, and
Yeah.
we need to be the breakthrough for the future generation of young males to step out and go seek therapy and deal with some of the PTSD and traumas that we deal with as young men growing up in the community. So
I agree.
again, man, thank you, brother, for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Very powerful stuff. Thanks for giving up your time. Anything
Appreciate
that
it.
we can do to help support you, if you got events, like I said, send it over to us and we'll blast it out to the community. Make sure our community folks stay informed of where things are so they can get there and support. That's what it's all about, man. And thank you for continuing to just do your thing. You are a prime example of why I believe in second chances. And I hope
Thank you.
folks out there get to see, man, this king right here, been through some trials, been through some tribulations, but walking on the top, making impact, impacting the community, and doing things to move our culture forward. So we appreciate you. We salute you, King, and
Thank you,
looking
bro.
forward to connecting with you in the future, brother.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Man, you too, man. All right, y'all. With that being said, we had one other hidden gem that was going to come on, but he had some Wi-Fi connectivity issues. But we'll get him back on. Him and his organization, they breed these little bullies, and wanted to get him on to talk about the breeding process and his business. And we got a lot of dog lovers out there, and we'll get him on. We'll get Tommy back on another segment. But again, thank you all for tuning in for tonight's Hidden Gem segments. I know there's been a lot of cancel shows, missed shows, things going on. There's a lot of movement going on. We got a lot of outdoor events. We coming out of this pandemic, so it's very busy. We're doing a lot of stuff as we're building up our team. So just want to thank you all in the community for being patient. One, want to give a huge shout out to our Both Sides of the Conversation team. We got some phenomenal folks behind the scene that are doing things to keep the platform moving out in the community. I know some of you seen a number of our team folks out connecting with the community, and that's what it's all about. None of this happens without these folks behind the scenes. So I just want to give a shout out to the entire Both Sides of the Conversation team, all of the people that support us, all of the different organizations that just believe in what we're doing. And again, to move these type of organizations to get to where we want, it takes time. We're committed. We're there consistent. Y'all see us around, and we're trying to do more to impact our community. But I just thank the community for being patient, growing with us, evolving with us, and just, again, thank you to our team for staying dedicated and believing in the community and understanding what the vision and mission is to impact our community. It takes a lot. Inflation is up. People are going through it right now. So again, having both sides of the conversation, having different organizations, bringing their resources to the platform to help our community out is very, very important. So if that is you out there, we are looking for you to come educate our community. Won't you sign up for one of our educational Thursdays? Bring that nice PowerPoint presentation that you're educating all your colleagues with. Bring it back to the community so you guys can give that game and that information to our community. For all our HR people out there that are in HR, come on and come give our community some information on how to better write their resumes, how to be more attractive in the job pool. We need those type of services. For all our nutritionist folks out there, mental health, we talk about mental health. A lot of it has to do with how we eat. Y'all know a lot of our communities are in food deserts, are food apartheid. Come on here, man. Put a platform, put a PowerPoint presentation together. Come educate our community on how to eat better. Obesity is real in our community. Our young kids are suffering from obesity 10-1 versus other communities. So again, we need our nutritionists to come on and talk about eating, talk about mental health, talk about wellness, and make sure that we educate in our community and bring that awareness. There's a number of different things that we need. Also, our civil folks coming in as we get ready for the elections coming up. We need folks to come break down these different propositions and what's going on. So again, there's many ways you could give back to the community. It is a disgrace when I hear people talk about, I don't know how to give back. There are many opportunities that you can help and give back to community. So find out. If you need help, reach out to us, and we can find a way to help support you or put you somewhere or with the right organization that can utilize your skills to help give back. It's all about all of us. We have to work together in solidarity to lift each other up. None of this stuff happens overnight, but we're going to continue to keep pushing here. Again, the next upcoming weeks, you're going to see more and more of our class of 2022 graduates. We are excited to get them on. They are all booking right now, getting their time slots set in. A lot of them are in summer school, getting ready. Some of them are playing sports. So it's been a challenge to get them all scheduled, but we're booking them up. And we're looking forward for community to come on and support them and cheer our youth on, because, again, they are our future. We want them to feel supported, and we want to make sure that they get the information and stuff that they need. So thank you to the Dream Keeper. This was a great Dream Keeper kickoff. Our two young middle school graduates going on, and then we're going to start bringing our high school and our college kids. They're going to be coming on. So some more great conversations. And again, you all see us in the community. Tomorrow is the kickoff for the summer youth here in San Francisco. If you got some young folks, bring them out to City Hall at the Civic Center Plaza tomorrow with Mo Magic and Collective Impact, as they're going to have enough education material, food, and things for our young folks to be a part of as we kick off the summer programming. 52 days or 59 days of them before they go back to school. So we want to give them opportunities. Also, we'll be taking some kids up to the drag race trip for the Team Bodie event July 16th. If you have some young folk that you want to go, we're looking for maybe high schoolers, middle schoolers, high schoolers. Reach out to us, send it to info@bsotc, and we'll be putting it out in our newsletter for folks to get on board as well. With that being said, it's been a hot day, y'all. Stay cool. Hopefully it get a little cooler tonight for folks. It was burning up in the city today. I know the East Bay, it is still 100 degrees across the East Bay. So community, stay cool. And, hopefully this heat wave will pass through and get a little cooler for some of our elders in the community. Also, conserve the water. As you all know, we are still in a drought. here in California. So be mindful of the water usage as these hot days are really putting impact on our water infrastructure, because again, when it's hot like this, it dries up the lakes, it dries up some of the water that we have out there. You all know that shortage is impacting. So just still be mindful, watering your lawns, washing your cars, and your shower and bathing times, just so that we can conserve water, so that we don't have any water outages through the community. So with that being said, I love you all. Be safe out there. Enjoy this great weather. Go take the kids to get some ice cream. It is very, very nice weather, especially in the East Bay. All y'all folks in Oakland, beyond, Vallejo, Antioch, Fairfield, get your kids out there. Go get them some ice cream. Enjoy this great weather. And we'll see you all this Thursday for our next live show. You all that's bringing your kids to summer camp, I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll be out there live streaming to support our young folks. So with that being said, see you all. Be safe, and we'll see you next Thursday for our next live event.